In this video, I will tell you about the dimension style overrides. So in the previous video, we have made a dimension style, and using that dimension style, we can add dimensions in our drawing. Now, what if we want to make very small change in that dimension style? And what if we want to make only a few dimensions with that changed dimension style? For that, obviously, we can create a new dimension style. But if you don't want to create a new dimension style, you can create a temporary override of that dimension style, and you can add dimensions with that. To make this point clear, I'll go to this annotate tab and I'll make sure that this dimension style, our dim style, is selected. So when you click on this drop down, you'll see a preview of that dimension style. Now with that dimension style selected, I will make a few dimensions. So I'll select linear, and then I'll click on this endpoint, and then I'll click on this endpoint and I'll add the dimension. So here we have this dimension with this red dimension line, green extension line, and yellow text. Now let's make a small change in this dimension style. For that, I'll once again click on this drop down and I'll select manage dimension styles. Now here we have this our dim style. In order to change it, or in order to add the override, simply select this dimension style and select this override button. Now it will open the modify dimension style window with all the properties which are assigned to our dim style. Now we'll make some modifications here. So I'll change the color of dimension lines to bilayer, and also the extension lines to bilayer. Now I'll leave the text color as yellow, and now click on OK. Now you'll notice that a new style override has been added under this dimension style. Now click on close. And let's make a new dimension. Now we have this dimension with the changed property, and it's taking the properties of our dimension style override. You can even add more dimension styles and it will still take the property of the override. In this way, you can remove the dimension style override from the dim style window. So click on this drop down, select manage dimension style, and now from this dim style window, simply right click on the override and select delete. You can also rename this override to make it a permanent dimension style. So if you rename it, it will become a new dimension style, but we don't want to do that. We simply want to delete that. So I'll select yes, and the override is no longer present, but still the dimensions will have the property of the override. Now if you want to remove these properties, and if you want these dimensions to have the property of the original dimension style, then simply select the dimension, right click, and select this option, remove style overrides, and will return back to the original dimension style. You can repeat the process for this dimension or any other dimensions also if they are present in the drawing. So this was all about the dimension style override tool of AutoCAD.